What's that? Playoffs? Don't talk about playoffs. You kidding me? Playoffs? I just hope we can win a game.
Scores! He did it again!
I just killed him. Before the game, I just killed John Madden because of a stink bomb.
Split special teamers, and now Brown is off to the races. Hurdles, kicks him in.
Giants are coming off a worse week than Harvey Weinstein.
That was the most exciting thing to happen tonight.
Game's over. Game is finally fucking be over.
Ed, you got to turn your mic on. I think. His hand on the button.
And now, our feature program.
Hey, everybody. How you doing tonight?
Hey, what's going on?
What's up?
How's it going, Chris?
It could be better, I guess. Well, you know, it's not too bad.
Worse. Could be worse.
It could be a lot worse.
Could be worse. You could not smell or taste anything.
Exactly.
You could be stuck home with no internet.
That would suck.
Or a wife that you hate.
True.
Those are both valid points. Almost equally the same.
You guys are making me feel much, much better about this.
You're welcome. That's what we're here for.
We're here to make you happy.
We're not here to make entertainment. We're just here to make you happy.
Hey, Amanda's here with us the minute we got on. Wow.
She just wants to see Nate's pretty face.
Yeah, she misses his pretty face.
It's not that pretty.
She doesn't miss it that much. Don't let her lie to you.
Although I'm pretty sure your puppers miss you a lot more than Amanda misses you.
No, I think it's about the same.
You think it's about the same?
Yeah.
I think Amanda's pissed that Nate wasn't around to clean up all the snow we got.
No,
my
Dad came over. Because I texted Amanda that morning, and I called her that morning and said, hey, did anybody do your driveway? If not, I'll go grab the truck and bring my snowblower over.
Yeah, that's okay. I got a text Friday night from the neighbor. My snowblower can't work. Isn't starting. Can you take a look at it? I'm like, yeah, I'm in Florida. Otherwise, I would. So he borrowed.
Oh, Amanda only wanted to see us other three.
That's it. So so he goes, hey, can I borrow yours? I'm like, yeah, sure. He goes, I'll do your driveway too. So I'm like, all right, fair enough. So he did my driveway and his driveway and just used my snowblower.
Oh, there you go. And so the dad-in-law didn't even have to worry about cleaning the driveway.
Yeah, the in-laws didn't have to worry about the driveway, but they went and cleaned the driveway at the lake house. So. He had to go get the snowblower out of the lower garage and whatnot.
And walk it up to the higher garage.
Yep.
So is everybody excited for our final week of fantasy coming up?
No, I'm not. Now that I figured out how the things are working.
What do you mean?
Jeremy in last place.
There's no loser bracket.
There's
a loser bracket. It's just the two in the very bottom don't play in the bracket.
Well, then it's not a loser bracket.
It's not the ultimate loser bracket.
Jeremy wants the Sacco.
Y'all two suck so bad that you don't even get to play in a bracket.
But now the question is, the decision was that whoever lost the losers bracket gets the Sacco. But if the two worst teams aren't in the losers bracket, how are you going to justify that one?
So in other words, I'm going to have to email you a picture of my face to put on the Sacco to be in your studio, Nate. 'Cause that's probably what's going to happen.
No, so you'll get it, but you see that little Buckeye guy back there on that bookshelf? Yeah, that guy right there.
Bring him over so we can all see it.
It needs to go there. So that way, no, the picture. Right there, that guy. You're gonna have to replace that guy with the Sacco.
Well,
that way we always get to see it every time we're on the air.
Well, it would be pointless to send it down here because I'm leaving like a month and a half.
See, I was thinking that red picture right behind him on the
up
wall
higher
area. That way, it's like hanging above his head.
He needs another shelf. That way, it sits right at chin level.
Jeremy just wants me to look like I'm getting teabagged.
That's the whole reason for the Sacco. Is if I want it, it's going right there. That way, in all my work meetings, it's also going to sit right there.
I am pretty stoked that I get to actually go out of this group. I actually get to play for the championship belt, and that's actually kind of nice.
If my wife keeps going how she's going, she's gonna kick everyone's ass.
I don't know. Her and Smitty are like neck and neck.
Yeah. It just takes one bad week. That's
Yep.
all it takes is one bad week.
I need Smitty to have a bad week this
I know,
week.
you know,
I've
when
had
somebody
all the bad
rearranges an entire team that wasn't supposed to be rearranged, and then I've lost every game since.
Don't worry, I've had every bad week.
No, Gail's had the
14
last
in a row.
couple of bad weeks.
No, Travis had the worst week.
Yeah.
He has the worst weeks.
Because when I lose to the last place person and catapult them out of last place.
Don't worry, I think there was a week where I didn't hit 100 points.
I barely made 100 points thanks to Roethlisberger. It was
That's what
like,
you get for trying to be sneaky.
hey, Amanda dropped him. It wasn't my fault. I saw him. I'm like, oh, I'm not letting him sit there. I can put him in IR. So you want to get to our moments with Chris?
Is that how we're starting the show? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, we have nothing else
going
really.
on.
Nothing else going on basketball. They're starting soon. NHL is starting after the new year. Nobody cares about baseball because it's baseball, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about college.
It's football season.
Yep.
Yeah. So, 6 games this week in the top 20, just within the top 25 ranked teams were canceled due to COVID.
Including your favorite team in the whole wide world.
Yeah, that's the next thing I'm getting to. So this week was the week that every Ohio State fan looks forward to every single year. Only game of the year that matters. All right, the team up north canceled, due to COVID.
Just like that guy that was forced to apologize said
Yep.
was going to happen.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
I want him to come back and recant his apology.
It was like verbatim exactly how he called it was going to happen.
Yeah. So this actually, because they, canceled the game, caused the Big Ten to alter previously set forth rules regarding the 6-game minimum to qualify for the Big Ten championship game. They said you had to play a minimum of 6 games, or if the average was under 6 games, then you would qualify. Well, the average wasn't under 6 games, and Ohio State was 5-0.
Yep.
So they removed that rule, and OSU will represent the East Division against Northwestern on the 9th, and they're going to play for a Big Ten title. So
as they should be playing in.
Okay. So that was my next question. How do we feel about them changing the rules to get Ohio State into the Big Ten championship?
They should. Ohio State's the best team in that division.
Yeah. I mean,
long shot.
Yeah.
And it's not like it was their fault that they couldn't play.
Right. So one game it was. The Illinois game, it was Ohio State. The 1 week that Ohio State had to cancel because they had a spike in COVID. But they were able to come back last week and beat the snot out of Michigan State. And, so the Big Ten, conference, their justification was regardless had they played, win or lose, Ohio State would have been the best team in the East due to head-to-head because the second team is Indiana, which they've already beat this season.
Yep.
So they justified it by saying no matter what happened in that game, they were going to the Big Ten title game. So they just, moved it. And Ohio State did try, from my understanding, to reach out to a couple schools, maybe potentially play this weekend. There were rumors that they might play Texas A&M. Those weren't true, apparently. Lincoln
That would have been
Riley,
a good game.
Yeah, Lincoln Riley from Oklahoma actually said that had Ohio State reached out to them and they could have logistically got it done, they would have played.
Couldn't they just play another team in Ohio?
They did, they were looking at playing Ohio University. The Bobcats, I believe.
Yes.
But for whatever reason, logistical issues, I think, played a big part in why they're just not playing. I think they were also exploring avenues in case the Big Ten voted to, say, hey, either we find them a game or they don't get in. So once the Big Ten changed their stance on the 6-game rule, I think they stopped kind of looking. They were like, okay, well, we get a bye week essentially going into the Big Ten championship game.
Yeah, we have time to relax our guys, light practices,
Well,
So
crazy.
Logistically, it would have been almost next to impossible with COVID restrictions and whatnot to get a game scheduled and transportation, everything else figured out in time by now.
yeah, the only one that would have made sense is if they would have played a team like maybe Toledo or Ohio University or like maybe Miami of Ohio or something.
I mean, they probably could have gotten away with playing like U of L or a Kentucky team too. It's not like it's a very far bus ride for any of those teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's their only. That would have been their only real option, though.
Yeah, I think it would have been, they would have had to find somebody reasonably close by.
Yep.
So by them changing the rules and Ohio State getting into the Big Ten championship, it throws the top 4 playoff spots into a complete shitstorm.
They weren't planning on them getting in?
Yeah. So here's how this could play out. There's like 5, a number of different ways. So Alabama and Florida play for the SEC championship. If Florida beats Alabama and will drop to an 8-1 record. All right. Notre Dame and Clemson play for the second time in the ACC championship. Notre Dame's already beat Clemson, so if Clemson comes back and beats Notre Dame will then be 10-1, as will Clemson. So, rumor is if Florida wins and Clemson wins, we get bumped out because they're only going to drop Notre Dame probably to 3, and they're going to drop Notre Dame to 4 and Alabama to 3. So essentially, if those two teams win next weekend,
Ohio doesn't get to play.
Ohio State doesn't get in, and you're going to watch basically – you could potentially see Notre Dame and Clemson play for the 3rd time this season. You're going to watch probably a rematch of the SEC championship game, and then you're going to watch probably Alabama and Clemson go at it for like the 5th time in 6-7 years.
Jeez.
Yeah, so every Ohio State fan next weekend is an Alabama fan. Because
for the first time in their lives.
To have a shot. So if Alabama and Notre Dame win, we're in. A&M's probably in, and Clemson's probably out.
Really?
I feel like you put on your floral white dress with your long white socks, and you have blonde hair and a bonnet, and you followed this rabbit down into Wonderland.
Oh, when I went into the rabbit hole?
Yeah, I feel like you definitely did a little bit of Alice today.
Like I said, that's why on the talking points I put in there, I was like, it's too much to even try to attempt to type because there's so many different scenarios that could play out on championship weekend that could either A, bump Ohio State potentially all the way up to, well, they're probably only going to go up to 3. There's a chance they could end up at 2. If Notre Dame wins and Alabama loses, we could end up at 2 above, right below Notre Dame.
Wow.
But the likelihood of those, it's more likely that Alabama's going to win. Notre Dame and Clemson's going to be a really close game. Notre Dame beat Clemson, but that was without Clemson without Trevor Lawrence. So I think it's going to be a slightly different game. We really need,
That game was down to the wire without Trevor Lawrence.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I think if they utilize Trevor Lawrence kind of the way they did against Ohio State last year, where they started exploiting, gaps in that man coverage or that zone coverage to be able to get him loose in space, I think he'll make a difference.
Yeah.
So
what is your feeling, Chris, about who is more likely to win, and if you guys are going to get it or not?
So, I think
true feeling, not hard feelings, but true feelings.
True feelings. Alabama's going to whoop Florida's ass. I firmly believe that, and I think Notre Dame Clemson's going to be. I don't think it's going to be what it was last time where we went to overtime, but I think it's going to be within 10 points. Regardless if Trevor Lawrence is there or not, because I think Notre Dame is going to step up their game a little bit.
Well, yeah, it's a bowl game.
And the thing is, too, they didn't have a whole lot of film on that backup quarterback. So some of the, plays that he made were strictly just because they didn't know what to expect from him.
Yeah.
They know what to expect from Trevor Lawrence. They know Trevor Lawrence's tendencies. They're going to play him probably a little bit tougher, I think, than what you might have saw last game. But, I mean, if Alabama wins, I would pretty much say that we're in regardless because, you know.
As long as you win.
Yeah, as long as we win, given. Now, if we lose to Northwestern, who's a 5-1 team,
forget about
it. We're done. We're out.
Do you think you'll lose to Northwestern?
Hell no. I mean, it could potentially be a game. It could potentially be a game because Pat Fitzgerald, their head coach, always brings it when he plays Ohio State. But I think the Buckeyes have a point to prove. They're going to be rested, and I think they have probably one of the best receiving corps in the country. So we'll see. All right.
So when is the Ohio game this weekend? Or is that
we don't have one?
There's no game this weekend. Did you see what I sent you all?
Yeah, there's no Ohio State game this weekend because we were supposed to play Michigan.
That's in 2 weeks. So the games are in 2 weeks.
So on the 19th, yeah.
The 19th, yes, Saturday.
That's
the 19th.
championship weekend for everybody.
That's when we're gonna get a full list of channels of what we have to watch.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's
yeah,
next
like
week's podcast.
pretty much.
80 different games to watch.
Hey Nate, stop messing with my talking points.
I'm making them better.
So, moving on to that, matchups to watch. Really, there isn't any really good matchups to watch. I actually lie, because everything this week should be pretty one-sided. It's a lot of rivalry games where you have top-ranked people versus people that really aren't that good anymore, right? But the oldest rivalry in college football, the Army-Navy game, is played this weekend.
Yes.
So Army beat Navy.
They win twice in like 18 years, and they think they're good.
I know, we generally don't ever win, but when we do, it's a big deal.
Like, I was loving it for the longest time on Facebook because Facebook hadn't been created the last time Army beat Navy, and there were so many memes about it. I was like, and then they won. I was like, oh.
It's just like telling your kids that you're older than Google.
Yeah, there you go. They're like, what?
And then they Googled when Google was created. They're like, hold on, how old are you?
Yeah.
Just think you're older than the internet.
So this game.
Oh yeah. Well, there was a form of internet back in the late 70s, so, but it wasn't as internet as it is internet now.
It wasn't the internet.
No.
It was a first attempt.
It was a form. It was really for the military and for doctors originally. There's some knowledge you probably didn't know.
I did.
I didn't.
Carrying on.
Anyhow.
Chris doesn't care, though.
So this traditional game here.
Oh, yeah. So the game's traditionally the only game played the first week in December, and it's usually the last game, period, in college football of the regular season. Obviously, the pandemic has caused both.
That's all stuff I didn't know.
Oh yeah. So
well, that's because he's Army and he loses every time.
So normally, like back pre-college football playoff when the BCS was a thing, and they had to figure out the top 25 for all the bowls. There has been a couple times where they actually had to wait to release the final rankings because they had to wait for Army Navy to play.
Oh wow.
When Navy was ranked a couple times. So they actually had to wait to see, if they were going to move up in the rankings or not. But normally, it's played the last game of the season. It's the only game on. Obviously, due to COVID, that's changed. And it's also normally played in Philadelphia,
Yep.
So this year they have altered it, and they're actually playing it at the U.S. Military Academy in West Point, New York. All right.
Oh, so we got a home field advantage is what you're saying.
Yeah, it's going
to
be
no
cold
fans.
Shit,
it's going to be so cold that COVID doesn't stand a chance.
So, yeah. And, honestly, this is one of my...
How cold is it supposed to be?
Oh, geez, I don't even know. That's up in your guys' neck of the woods. So.
Yeah. Well, actually, weather I'm seeing for this weekend is like upper 30s, lower 40s. At least that's the last time I looked.
I'm seeing 50s and rain. What are you talking about?
I don't know. This was like 3 days ago, so.
Oh, check the weather again. Everything's gonna be. It's gonna be a sloppy mess this weekend.
Oh, goody.
Saturday.
It's because I'm coming back.
Saturday, 40 and 90% chance of rain. Sunday, 52.
There we go.
I was in shorts and a t-shirt today, just to let you guys know.
When you were with Smitty?
I'm in shorts and a t-shirt like every day. What's your point?
That's because you don't leave your house right now.
Well, even when I do leave. All right, so obviously this is probably one of mine, and I don't know if Nate, because he doesn't follow college. It's one of my favorite games for obvious reasons, but you see the memes and you see everything all the time about this time of year. This is the only college football game or football game in general where both sides of the line are willing to die for each other, and football isn't the most important thing.
See, I have a problem with the Army-Navy game. And the reason why I have a problem with the Army-Navy game is because the Navy is a pack of cheaters. And I'm going to tell you why they're a pack of cheaters.
Because we have the Marine Corps.
No, it's not even that.
Oh,
the Marine Corps is... What? Go ahead.
Because the Army requires their football players to remain within height and weight standards. They actually, I'm pretty sure, did away with that. But the Navy allows, during the season, their linemen to get up into the 300s and all that. And then after the season, they have to drop back down.
So they can get some 300-pound linemen while they're going up against some 250-pound linemen. You tell me where it's fair.
Hey, it isn't my fault that you're like...
I believe the statement is all is fair in love and war.
I was just going to say, it isn't my fault the Army decided, hey, we're going to make sure that our football players maintain height and weight. The Navy figured it out to where they get them back into weight standards right after the season.
It's a bunch of bullshit is what I say. Pack of fucking cheaters. Can't trust a sailor at all.
I mean, hey. All right, so last week, upsets of the week. Unranked TCU beat number 15 Oklahoma State, who is now ranked 22nd.
Wow.
29-22.
Sounds like it was a close game.
Yeah. Unranked Rice beat number 21 Marshall, who is now unranked, 20-0.
Who the hell is Rice?
Holy crap!
Exactly.
Where is that school?
I don't even know.
We didn't. Jeremy, find that out for us.
I think Nate's already on it. All right,
I'm not the college Google person.
All right, so from last week's matchups to watch, number 18 Coastal Carolina, who is now number 13, beat then number 13 BYU, who is now ranked 18, 22-17.
Rice Texas.
There you go.
That's why.
Yeah. So they got it done. Coastal Carolina got it done. Which, transitioning very nicely into Nate. I need my intro.
The Raging Cajuns.
Thank you, Nate. All right, so the Cajuns defeated App State this last week. In last week's games to watch. The score was 24-21, edging the Mountaineers for the victory. Quarterback Levi Lewis was 8 for 23 in 101 yards. So I was looking at the other stats as well. They had like 5 running backs playing. One went for like 98. The other one went for like 75. And then the other one, 3 went for like 30 or 40 apiece.
So they just ran it like a.
Yeah.
But they still won.
They did.
So they played like the Patriots did last week.
Pretty much. So
who are on their way to losing this week.
So the win put them atop of the Sun Belt West Division. All right. They moved into the number 19 slot in the college football playoff rankings. They're 17 in the AP poll. All right. And this will set up a rematch on the 19th, championship weekend, against their only lost against number 13 Coastal Carolina.
Oh, it's Jerry. It's going to be playing on your birthday.
Are you just figuring this out? We've said the 19th like 20 times already.
Oh, I was just reading. I wasn't paying attention to the date.
So, the Cajuns are getting it done this year, boys. Let's see if they can. Let me take a look real quick.
Gotta love them Cajuns.
I want to look at something before we jump forward.
Well, I'd
like to see them.
When they lost to Coastal Carolina the first time they played, the score was 30-27. So it was a close game.
Yep.
So
come on, I want to use my jump to conclusions map.
I have one of those. Thanks, Travis.
Welcome.
So before we get into NFL news, I do want to say that I didn't put it in here, but this weekend, Green Bay, it'll be Green Bay's first game with having fans in the stands.
Oh.
They are allowing family of the players and family of the players and staff to watch the game this weekend. So Wisconsin finally is allowing people to go into Lambeau, which is great.
Why? Because it's so cold, they'll have to wear masks.
They're going to be freezing because those are metal bleachers, and the only way you stay warm there is if you're huddled together. So might as well let the family in so that way they can really just snuggle up and try to stay warm.
They don't call them the Packers for nothing.
But usually they pack them with, like, what, 60,000 fans, Nate? 70,000 fans?
Lambeau actually is the largest fan capacity stadium in the NFL.
Really?
Because they have bleachers, they don't have seats, so they can really pack it all in.
So that means they gotta be able to capacity over 120,000 fans.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to say the highest one is like 123.
Hey Chris, you know what bears mean in the gay community, right?
Yeah, I do. I watch Kevin Smith podcast too. And Lambeau's capacity is 81,441.
So they're not the largest then.
No, Lambeau's one of the oldest stadiums left, though.
Yes, they're one of the oldest. I don't think they can house the most.
No, they can't. Dallas can.
Yeah.
AT&T Stadium.
Vegas can. I thought Vegas can now.
Yeah, I think the new Vegas stadium is massive.
The Death Star, as they call it.
Yeah, apparently it says, was it Allegiant Stadium? Holds 65. AT&T holds 80.
Soldier Field is the smallest with a capacity of 61.5.
Yeah.
Which is weird because I've been in both Raymond James and Soldier Field, and Soldier Field seems so much bigger than Raymond James.
So according to Wikipedia, because we know that's always the most accurate.
That's what I was looking at.
MetLife can hold up to 82,500. FedEx Field, which is Washington, can hold 82. Lambeau says it can hold up to 81,441. But I think they could definitely push over that if they wanted to.
That's an odd man out. What, is somebody going by themselves?
I mean, I would. Bye, Amanda. You get to be outside. I'll be inside.
All right, so you ready to get to NFL since we're already talking about stadiums?
Let's do it.
All right, so Steve Kornacki is going to make the most fun NFL playoff race ever. The MSNBC political correspondent is going to be gracing our screens for the rest of the year as part of the NBC's football coverage. He's the guy who was going nuts about everywhere everybody's seated and everything like that on last Sunday night. So this week, NBC Sports announced that they would continue this experiment by putting Kornacki on the air, breaking down the playoff picture, and that he will become an addition to the Football Night in America broadcast for the remainder of the season. Did any of you guys see that breakdown, or Nate, you're looking puzzled? Were you drunk still?
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how to spell addition because you spelt it wrong.
I don't know. I copied and pasted it.
See, it goes to addiction every time you do the autocorrect.
I knew what I knew what the word was. So did any of you guys see the break, like him breaking down the things when the different in between halftime or the commercials?
No.
Jeremy?
I was not available.
Well, I didn't know if you looked inside the game at all.
No.
Apparently, you're the only one.
I was a little busy running around a theme park till 12:31 a.m.
See, his priorities aren't straight, is what he's saying.
Right.
Well, neither are you, but we still love you, Nate.
My priorities are golden.
I wasn't talking about that.
Well, he was super enthusiastic about the whole thing, which was kind of more interesting, I think. Like, he had, if somebody beats this guy, they can move in. Like, basically, he said that the game tonight for the Patriots was a need to win like this week, because if they didn't, they were completely out, and the Buffalo Bills were in automatically.
Yeah, it's a must-win for New England tonight. If they lose, their playoff hopes are
they're done, and they're
going to
start playing Stidham.
Not mathematically yet, but due to matchups of the teams they need to lose, they're done.
And the teams that they need to lose are least likely to win. So, least likely to lose. So what do you think that this is, because he was so over the top, like excited about everything? Do you think this is a good move for them?
So are you asking if we think it's a good idea to have somebody with energy in the booth?
Energy in the booth, and it being he's known for being just like a political correspondent, where this is more outside of his realm. So you think this is kind of a good thing for him, or?
I think it could be a good move. I mean, I think having energy in the booth is great, especially when you have, a dry Joe Buck and Troy Aikman.
Well, it's not in the booth, so he's not actually in the booth. He was at the halftime guy, like the people with the halftime.
Hey, pregame. Aikman's not dry. He's stoned.
He's hopped up on some painkillers. Because he's got to sit next to Joe Buck the whole time.
You'll be hopped up.
That's enough. I was like, that's enough to make anybody partake in some form of drug.
Well, the first time they went out they had a game in Denver when pot was legal out there. The first and only time you see him live on the TV, his eyes were so bloodshot
and they were glazed over.
Like they were. It was a meme for weeks, and it was the one and only time you saw him all game.
Yep.
After that, you heard him talk, but you never saw a picture of him.
Well, speaking of Troy Aikman, the Dallas Cowboys have fallen, and they finally have fallen hard.
That's what you call a segue there, friends.
Less than a day.
That's how you plan it out.
Yeah. Less than a day after their 34-17 loss to the Baltimore Ravens, the NFL did something that once was unthinkable, especially in the eyes of previous fans of the game. Right, Jeremy? The NFL announced on Wednesday that Week 15 game between the Cowboys and the San Francisco 49ers, which was set for Sunday Night Football, is being moved back to 1 p.m.
You want to know what? This is the most 2020 thing that could ever happen.
And taking their place is the Browns-New York Giants game. How surprised are we that the Browns are being moved to a primetime flex game?
I think it's about damn time. It's about time the Browns get recognized for doing something.
Yeah.
Good.
Well, if that isn't 2020 in a nutshell, I don't know what is.
This is
somebody actually sent me the meme that said, like, they moved the Cowboys out of prime time. The Michigan-Ohio State game's canceled. Yeah, this is definitely 2020.
Can you imagine how stoked you have to be to be a Browns fan right now?
Oh, yeah.
Your whole year has sucked, and then your team that has just sucked forever finally has a chance.
If the Browns win the Super Bowl, we know it's the end of the world. That's all it has to do.
Exactly. But to prove your point there, Nate, a close friend of mine, Ben, he lives in Cleveland, right, or just outside of Cleveland.
So he's been drunk for months.
Every other damn post is about the Browns.
They kind of deserve it, considering how bad they've been.
Yeah, they deserve it at least once. So they.
I'll root for the Browns. Don't get me wrong. As long as they're not playing my wife's Steelers, because Shannon will stab me. I'll root for the Browns.
Don't worry, it's documented now. If you get stabbed, we know who did it.
Yeah.
She'll find a way to cover it up, I'm sure.
Don't worry, YouTube has it already.
That's true. No.
So my NSA, my NSA agent listening. There you go.
Yeah.
How conflicted I would be in the unlikely chance that the Packers play the Browns in the Super Bowl. I will be torn because I've always wanted the Browns to win the Super Bowl.
Oh, Cleveland is going to burn to the ground if that happens.
I kind of want to see that happen.
Yeah.
Well, I said the same thing about Philly, though, and
Philly did try.
They tried, but in typical Philly fashion, they failed.
I still stand behind a Detroit-Cleveland Super Bowl. That would be the end of the world.
That's Armageddon.
World game of the
That's when I know I can just stop paying bills because it's over. The world is over.
Yeah.
That's when everybody.
Is it possible to place a bet on, just be like, I bet the Browns and the Lions are going to go to the Super Bowl. Don't put a year behind it. Just place a bet. So that way when it happens, you can
thought
collect.
that the Cubs would never win a World Series, and here we are. So who knows?
They won the World Series. That didn't matter.
But it's so bad he's retiring from baseball.
All right. So Josh Gordon, as of today, can officially return to the Seahawks locker room. And Seattle needs him with all the injuries that are plaguing the team. Wednesday, Seattle coach Pete Carroll shared the plan with Gordon until he can practice. We'll be working with him, with our trainers, and we'll be getting him in shape for all that, Carroll said. What I've talked to Josh about is it's really important that he really bursts in right now and that he does get out there, not a lot of time for him to lag and to adapt. He's got to get it done now because there's just not much time left. As we all know,
The only thing I hear from that is Miley Cyrus wrecking ball and Josh Gordon pounding through a wall.
Well, speaking of Josh Gordon,
he's not that bad.
Well,
he just likes his weed.
Yes, he does. And they're slowly trying to make it legal in the NFL. As we all know, Gordon, when in shape and in good health, he is a formidable deep threat. He's not a good route runner, but he can run the balls off of a defensive corner. And Russell Wilson has the arm to reach him. Do we think he will be ready to go week 16, or that's just over 2 weeks away?
They're asking for a hamstring or an Achilles or something, unless he's been running wind sprints or actual route sprints. So it's a different type of in-game sprint than it is practicing.
Right.
I think the question that we need to ask though is, do we think that he's going to have a better first game back than Antonio Brown?
Probably.
What was Antonio Brown? 2 catches?
He didn't really see much. Now, I think that would be the comparable right there, because I think he'll have a good game, but really it's, do we think who's going to have the better game out of those two? Because, I mean, I know Tom Brady's the GOAT, whatever, but Russell Wilson is a phenomenal quarterback, and he has a lot of skill, and he's way younger than Tom Brady. So put those two together.
But Russell Wilson has no other targets because their players keep getting hurt. That's the difference.
Yeah.
Well, he's about to get a big one.
A high one? Very, very high.
Mm-hmm. So how much of an impact do you think he'll make that first week? You think it'll be a lot better or just a little slightly better?
I think he's probably going to – I think he's going to have an impact of pulling defenders. I think that's probably going to be his thing, maybe.
I don't think so. Not till they see that he can still do it.
All they need is one solid play. Say Russell Wilson throws to him 50 yards, right? Then they're going to see that him being a potential impact. Then he gets doubled up, and then it's going to open up all those other receivers.
If he catches it, or if he can outrun the defender, if the defender can stay with him one-on-one and knock the ball away, they're not going to worry about it. Till he can prove that he is a reliable deep threat that you have to have someone over the top on, like a Randy Moss style player. I don't think it's going to change the defense of how they play him.
How about you, Chris?
What's that?
I said, how about you? You got any ideas about how he'll do?
I mean, I kind of agree with Nate to an extent, but at the same time, I think he's going to have to prove that he needs that extra coverage, that extra, But I think he will have some type of impact. I just don't think it's going to be like a, blow it out of the park impact.
So I think no matter what, I don't even know who they playing.
Seattle will be playing week 15.
Week 16.
Oh, I don't have that for some odd reason. I guess.
So whoever they're playing, I think they're still going to have to game plan for Gordon. I mean, because if they give any type of relaxed coverage on him, he's going to get the ball and he's going to get a touchdown. So they can't play him like he's, his first year coming off the practice squad. They have to play him like he is a formidable opponent.
They play Washington.
So
yeah, he could have.
No,
he
they
could
play
have.
the Rams. They play the Rams week 16.
So the Rams are a good defense, so it's possible that if he doesn't make that deep impact right off the start, that they kind of like, well, he's the same Gordon we played back 5 years ago. He's slower. He's the same Gordon we played when we played against the Patriots. It's not going to kill us.
See, I think that no matter what, they're going to have to account for him because they can't leave him alone. So just that added person on that line going out to receive those passes, it just adds another threat. So they can't treat him like he's not going to be out there.
But it's just in replace of a different receiver. That's what you're missing. The fact is, he's just a body out there. He's a receiver. There's always going to have some kind of coverage on a receiver.
Yeah, he's not the Tyreek Hill or the Moss or the.
Well, they're playing the Rams? Is that what we figured out?
Yeah.
Do the Rams place their best corner on him, or do they play a second best corner? Like, who do they put on him? Because if they put like a rookie on him, he's going to burn that rookie.
Well, right now, if he comes back and they don't get their number one receiver back, they'd probably put their number one corner on him because he is known to be a problem for corners.
No, I'd put the number one corner on Lockett.
You think Lockett will be more of a star player in that game than?
Yeah, Lockett's more of a threat.
From what I hear, it sounds like it's going to be a game worth watching and seeing how Washington.
How high or drunk he is.
Yeah, see how Seattle plays him and how the Rams are able to manage that defense against that offense. Because then you also have the running game you have to be worried about. You have, I think they have a pretty decent tight end too, don't they? Bless you. And bless you, that's the COVID.
Thank you. You got the COVID.
Oh, the
I
COVID.
knew it was coming as soon as I sneezed.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and move into the NFL playoff picture.
Oh, and I got one more question for you guys.
We got one more question.
I got one more
It's not
question.
on here?
He's got questions. Go to the next page.
So, what was
got
the
questions
number
on
one
questions.
thing you were told as a football player when you played
Oh.
defense and there was a pass on 4th down, Jeremy?
Oh, I missed it.
Knock
You're
it down.
So,
good.
that's
Not
what
for Bill Belichick.
not according to Bill Belichick. He said in a recent interview they would never second guess a player's intercepting the ball on 4th down. He's reasoning that, and most of the time, offensive players don't make tackles, and those interceptions can turn into huge plays.
It's a true fact in the NFL.
Players in the NFL very, very rarely play offense and defense and vice versa. Do you think he makes a valid point? Or do you still want if you were the coach, would you still want your players to knock down the ball?
If I was an NFL coach, I see this as valid, very valid. If I was a high school coach, no.
Yeah.
Even in college, I've seen interviews with coaches for college, and they've said, they prefer that they knock it down just because they can get the ball back. But it also depends on the player making the play, and that player. Most of these guys that are starting corners, especially in the NFL, have enough game IQ. They can address this, kind of evaluate the situation. They know who's in the general area and what they're going to be able to do with the ball once they catch it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a Russell Wilson freaking moon ball 60 yards down the field, you don't pick it off. But if it's something 10 yards, maybe 15, you pick it and try your luck.
Yeah,
you're probably going to get at least 4 or 5 yards at minimum before anybody touches you, unless unless you're what's that dude, a Booby, whatever, the dude that Metcalf ran down.
Yeah, but he did make it like 90 yards before Metcalf ended it.
Could you just imagine what's going through your head when that happens? You're like, who the hell is this dude?
Touchdown, fuck.
You got the most jack guy in the field chasing your ass down.
And it's not like he's probably one of the faster corners in the league from what I understand too.
Yeah.
Oh, he is.
And
he thought no one had a chance.
And the guy who chased him down was like easily carrying another 30 pounds on top of what that corner weighed.
No, he's carrying easily like 50 to 60 pounds of muscle on top of that corner ass.
I mean, you also saw the strides that Metcalf was taking too. It was like, 5 yards a stride almost.
Exactly, compared to like 2 to 3 for the corner. Corner has quick feet. Metcalf's like, nope, I'm catching your ass. We're striding this out.
So before we jump to the playoff picture, Nate, I just want to throw this out there. I read something about your Patriots, guys. Apparently, they are working out Devin Smith.
Devin Smith. Who the hell's Devin Smith?
Exactly. So he got drafted like 6th round by the Jets, I believe. He's played for a couple teams. Essentially, the only reason that they're working him out for you guys is because the dude's fast as hell. He was Ohio State's deep ball threat during our national championship season.
So he's a wide receiver.
Yes.
Oh.
See, originally I thought quarterback because
No, he's a wide receiver.
We're in need of a quarterback who can throw the ball.
Yeah, he's a deep ball threat for a quarterback that can't throw the deep ball.
Yeah, I was gonna say we don't need a receiver because our quarterback can't throw the ball.
Yeah. We see what happens when he throws the ball. He throws an interception and the other team gets a touchdown off of it.
I mean, he does throw a lot of touchdowns that way, though.
he does. He has a good touchdown percentage.
He's almost
it's not 30 for 30.
He's almost as good as who played for the Titans. Not the Titans.
Winston.
Yes, Jameis Winston.
And not the Titans.
Yes, the Buccaneers. Sorry.
Exactly. He went 30 for 30 last year, as Nate just said.
All right, Nate, let's get to our NFL playoff picture.
Hey, wait.
All right,
what,
so right
what,
now,
what about Wentz being benched for Hurts?
Everybody knew that was coming.
Yeah, that was given.
So, in the AFC, right now the league has 2 teams that have clinched. The AFC, we have the 11-1 Chiefs, and in the NFC, we have the 10-2 Saints. Currently in the hunt for the AFC, you have the Steelers at 11-1, the Bills at 9-3, Titans 8-4, the Browns 9-3, Dolphins 8-4, and the Colts 8-4. And in the NFC, we have the Green Bay Packers 9-3, the LA Rams 8-4, the Giants 5-7, the Seahawks 8-4, the Buccaneers 7-5, and the Vikings 6-6. Now, there's a handful of teams that still have a chance. One of these teams, I don't know how they possibly have a chance, but they have a chance. So you got the Raiders 8-4, Ravens 7-5, Patriots 6-6, Broncos 4-8, Texans 4-8, Chargers 3-9, Bengals 2-9-1, Jaguars 1-11, and the Jets.
How do the
Jets
have
are
it?
mathematically eliminated?
Yeah, the Jets are mathematically out.
Hey, according to NFL.com, as of today, they still have a chance.
I think they lost their ever-living mind.
I don't know how.
There's
it
no
makes
way they-
zero sense. I didn't make this up. I got this off of the NFL. And if the NFL is the one putting it out, and they're the ones that have the playoffs, and they're the ones that have the Super Bowl, it's got to be true.
How many weeks are in the regular season?
17.
17? Okay, I knew that.
There's 3 weeks left. They mathematically can't pass.
That's what I was looking at.
I'm just saying.
Into a playoff picture.
Okay.
I pulled it off of here. So I don't know.
In theory, after the Patriots lose today,
they're out.
Mathematically eliminated.
Yeah.
So
Well, not mathematically, but in actuality, they're pretty much
Right.
they're out.
Yeah.
And then with the NFC side, you have the Cardinals 6-6, the Bears 5-7, the Lions 5-7, the 49ers 5-7, Washington 5-7, Falcons 4-8, Panthers 4-8, Eagles 3-8-1, and the Cowboys with a 3-9.
Who are also in that
No,
division, they are not mathematically out.
Cowboys and Eagles are actually Cowboys, Eagle, and Washington are very poised to make a playoff run or a playoff push, I should
If
say.
something
I
happens
really
with the
want
Giants,
Washington to take it.
Yeah.
I want Washington to go.
just because the Cowboys, the team with no name beat the undefeated team. How was
the
that
team
game
named
in your
the
house,
football
Chris?
Team. I want the football team to go to the Super Bowl. What team won?
Yes.
The football team. Well, I got that. Which team? The football team. All right. Which one?
The memes.
Washington.
So, Chris,
It's just
how
an
was that
affect
loss
is
in your house?
What's that?
How was that loss in your house last Tuesday? Monday? That was Monday.
That was Monday.
So, since for whatever reason, I don't know why Fox down here wasn't broadcasting it, and when I realized that they were losing, I didn't try to go through the app. But yeah, I mean, she was just like, it had to happen sometime, you know. She's a true Steelers fan, so she's like, it had to happen sometime. She's like, the only question she asked, when she found out it was Washington, did Chase Young have a good game? I was like, yeah. She's like, okay.
She's a good woman.
So I find it funny, though, that the Steelers are technically still the number 1 seed in the AFC, yet they're not clinched because of the Browns.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because of the Browns. The only reason.
Because of the Browns. Who would ever thought that? Oh, yeah, they've lost 1 game this far into the season, yet they haven't clinched because of the Browns.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go figure.
Those
right,
damn
Chris.
Browns.
All right.
You're up. Let's
Chris,
talk some
you're
power
up.
rankings.
All right, power rankings at 32, holding up their pretty much permanent spot, the New York Jets. And then at 30,
trying.
I mean, unless New York wins a game, I don't think it's happening.
These two teams are the unavailable and bad juju of our league.
Yes, they
Yes.
are.
Yes.
What do you mean? They make unavailable and bad juju look good.
This is
Yeah.
true.
Yeah.
We both.
At least you guys have more At least you guys have more points scored than they do.
And wins.
And wins.
Yeah. All right. So at 30, the Cincinnati Bengals at 2-9-1. At 29, fuck my life. My Chicago Bears at 5-7. They're down 1 from 28. At 28, the Philadelphia Eagles at 3-8-1.
A
They're
3-8-1 team is ahead of the Bears.
Yeah, I know. That's why I was just like, Jesus.
All of the
at-
NFC East is ahead of the Bears.
Pretty much. At 27, them boys, the Dallas Cowboys at 3-9. The 26, the Detroit Lions at 5-7. 25, the Los Angeles Chargers at 3-9. They're down 5 from 20. At 24, the Denver Broncos at 4-8. At 23, the Carolina Panthers also at 4-8. Houston Texans coming at 22, also at 4-8.
There's a lot of 4 and 8s.
Yes, I see this. And at 21, the Atlanta Falcons. How the hell are the Falcons above the damn Bears? All right. Sorry.
And they
At
dropped from
20
18.
Nagy. Just get rid of Nagy. At 20, the San Francisco 49ers at 5-7. So wait, the Niners are at 5-7. The Bears are at 5-7, and there's a
8 spot.
20. Yeah.
Well, the only reason I can think of that is because the Bears came out and won their first 5 games, and that was it.
Yeah,
that
they
was
haven't
the
done
end.
shit,
They played the
makes
Super Bowl. They were done.
And the 49ers have a quarterback that's actually winning games.
True.
Who is not Pretty Boy.
And that's a true backup quarterback, not one that started.
The Bears came early to the
Well,
party. That's the issue.
in our, I was gonna say, in our defense, our starters are backups.
You have a Super Bowl MVP on that backup list, though.
Yeah.
And he got traded for a not Super Bowl MVP.
Yeah.
Anyhow,
at
Now
night,
on to Washington.
the Washington football team, they're up 6 slots from 25.
after beating the undefeated team.
Yeah. At 18, the New York Giants at 5-7. They're up from 24, and holding steady at 6-6 at number 17 are the New England Patriots, which will change after tonight.
Yep.
At 16, you got the Minnesota Vikings 6-6. The Arizona Cardinals are also 6-6. They are at 15. They were 14. The Miami Dolphins managed to jump up 1 spot from 15 to 14 with an 8-4 record. The Las Vegas Raiders 7-5 go from 11 to 13, and the Tennessee Titans are 8-4. They were 6, and they took a huge drop to number 12. Indianapolis Colts also 8-4, went from 10 to 11. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers 7-5, went from 9 to 10. The Baltimore Ravens managed to jump ahead from 12 to 9 with a 7-5 record, while the Cleveland Browns also made a nice push from 13 to 8 with a 9-3. The Seattle Seahawks 8-4, went from 5 to 7, and the Los Angeles Rams also 8-4, went from 8 to 6. The Buffalo Bills were in number 7, now number 5 with a 9-3 record. My Green Bay Packers are still at number 4 with a 9-3. The Pittsburgh Steelers are now in 3rd place with their first loss of the season, 11-1, went from 2 to 3. The Saints went from 3 to 2 with a 10-2, and the Kansas City Chiefs are 11-1, still holding on to the first place spot. Moving into our fantasy league for this week, Joe Buck Yourself managed to beat Ladies and Edelman 187.54 to 132.02. Was mixing it up 176.42, managed to make Lieutenant Dan's legs still not work 142 to 24. Bad Juju with a huge upset, hitting the 200 club, spanked, curb stomped, and waterboarded Oompa's team 153.7. Travis.
It was bad.
Come on, bro.
That's worse than bad.
Every one of my players either went out or just didn't show up. It was a bad day.
And
although this one I think was worse than mine.
The Dolphinics.
No, you missed one.
Oh, Shamrockers.
Number 3,
got it.
the Shamrocker.
Shamrockers scored 125 to 112 to lose against the Muppets 205.2, and she joined the 200 club as well, which I think she's done at least once before. The Dolphinics beat Unavailable 192.54 to 149.56.
That's not what I'm seeing.
No, that's what I'm reading. This week.
Told you he won it.
Nope. This is the last week of our regular season, folks. Week 14. The number 3, Joe Buck Yourself, 8-5, is going against number 9, Bad Juju, who is 3-10. And I'm going to let you know that Christian McCaffrey is doubtful to play, so my point difference is not as good as it was. The unavailable number 10, which is 3-10 as well, is playing Lieutenant Dan's Magic Legs at number 6 with their 6-7 record. Shamrockers number 4, 7-6, is playing Was Mixing It Up number 2 with their 10-3 record. Ladies and Edelman number 8 with their 5-8 record is playing The Muppets, who is number 7 with a 6-7. The Dolphinics is playing, and they're number 1 with 10-3, playing number 5 Oompa 31's team at 7-6. And for those at home still keeping track of the tattoo bet, I am up one game, 17-9 to Smitty's 16-10. And for those that want to know what the tiebreaker is, I'm sitting at 4,427.02 points total to his 4,785.82. So if it ends in a tie right now, I will be getting a Dolphins tattoo.
Oh, jeez. That's
so,
scary.
Travis, I need your team to show up.
Oh, you wouldn't believe how much I need my... Well, I need my team to show up because it's almost guaranteed that the Shamrockers are going to lose to Was Mixing It Up, so...
Yeah,
I think I'm projected to lose to Jeremy.
You're projected to win by 100.19 points.
I showed you all.
Well,
I showed you all
your bench.
The my matchup in the other league.
Yes, we did.
The guy I'm playing is a fucking powerhouse. There is he's gonna win in that other league. So I'm just really just grabbing at straws here. I'm just making it seem like I haven't given up yet. Like, I'm not officially wearing sweatpants out of the house, but I'm pretty close.
They're in arm's reach.
Yeah, they're pretty close. They're looking kind of comfortable. I might just wear sweatpants, no underwear.
Underwear? Why would you waste the have to wash more clothing?
So the worst part of this, if I win or lose, it doesn't mean anything because I can't get into either bracket.
Nope.
I think the only thing it does for me is, I would probably by winning stay at 6.
So the person here that has the most to gain or lose is Travis.
Yes.
Because he's at 5th. So he has to beat Smitty to get into contention to play for the title.
So, Jeremy, I got some players I need from your team because you're not going to make it anyways.
No, I'm sorry. All my players are accounted for.
And on his bench.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I'm completely cool with them staying there too, Jeremy, just so you know.
And Smitty, even if he wanted to be a nice guy and, not start his good people, he reminded us that there's a tattoo bet going on.
You got a nice, good lead going on.
For the next, 24 hours? 36 hours?
There's no point for me to play an active roster, so.
No, if you don't play an active roster, you got to drop all your players and pick up the bottom of the row. That way I can pick them up.
That was never in the rules. And plus, you want to get first dibs at any of them.
He'd probably give them to me. Maybe.
Don't worry. I can make sure he has a starting roster.
Not if I drop my whole team.
Perfect. Drop your whole team, Jeremy. He's gonna drop him at like 4:00 in the morning tonight.
And then and then somebody could just re-add them all.
I mean, he's done it before. He's moved around, rosters before when he wasn't supposed to, so don't put it past him.
Hey, you settle down there, champ.
Yeah, he likes to skirt the pre-established agreement the whole league has.
We had no league rules. Next year we'll have league rules. We'll have them all written out.
No. I believe we had an agreement. The roster stays as it is. No players.
I said nobody can be traded from that roster. You all just go in and read what you want to read. You don't actually read what is written.
I honestly didn't go back. I just like messing with you about it because it gets Jeremy riled up.
No, I don't really care that much.
Jeremy has,
but you make better arguments than I can. So
yeah, my team has been on IR most of the season. So
yeah, they have.
So I've officially I gave up weeks ago.
That should have been your new team name. IIR.
Well, I was
IIR.
Sacco because that was going to be what I was going to win, but now Nate's changing the rules again.
Who the fuck are all these people? Oh, apparently I'm in another league. Huh. I wonder how I'm doing in this said league.
Does that go to your tattoo bet?
No. Hang on, let me see here.
That'd be some fucked up shit if you were in first in that league without ever touching your roster.
Oh my god, right?
No, he's gonna be last in the league with like 1 win.
I'm 4-8, and I've never touched this league. I didn't even know it was here.
Smitty, that's another league in this thing. You need a percentage base this thing.
So I do have number 1 priority over the waiver wire here. Maybe I should do something?
All of a sudden come in this last weekend and you make it to the playoffs?
Oh my god, that'd be so great. My team name is Nate's Nice Team.
All right.
Yeah, he was nice enough to not know about it.
Yeah.
They're probably like, who the fuck is this dude? He never touches his roster.
And he wins for some odd reason. Do you have any good players on there at least?
Hang on, where am I? I have Kyler Murray, Devontae Adams, Adam Thielen, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Chris Carson, Jared Cook, Tyler Lockett, Robbie Gould, Baltimore's defense. And on my bench, I have DeAndre Swift, AJ Green, James White, Baker Mayfield, Chris Hendren, and Dallas. Huh.
What do you know?
I mean, I feel like I'm doing pretty well for not actually doing anything.
All right,
so you're saying there's a chance.
Yeah.
Let's get to our surprise win of the weeks. Gail won this past week.
We still have more show, huh?
We do. So Gail won.
I always forget that when this part ends. Like, okay, now what?
Amazingly enough, Gail won without like even paying attention this past week, with 12 wins. Following her up was Smitty and Amanda with 11 wins. Then we had a 3-way tie: Mo, me, and you, Nate, with 10 wins. Jeremy, and then Chris following up the rear. The New Orleans Saints, because there was no Thursday night game last week, the New Orleans Saints played the Atlanta Falcons and won 21-16. Then the Browns went down to the Titans and beat them 41-35. The Detroit Lions.
That game ended a lot closer. I was getting notifications because of my fantasy team from Chubb.
Yeah.
And it's like they were up like 35-0. I'm like, what the hell's going on down there? Then all of a sudden I check it later. It's like, wait, they barely won.
Yeah, it turned into a very weird end game last couple quarters. The Detroit Lions went to the Chicago Bears and won 34-30 in a close one. The Cincinnati Bengals went to Miami and lost 19-7. The Jacksonville Jaguars went up to Minnesota. Minnesota won 27-24. That was a tight game. It was a good game from what I saw. The Indianapolis Colts went down to Houston and won 26-20. The Las Vegas Raiders went to New York Jets and in almost an overtime game. Well, actually, no, they were almost lost. But with final seconds left on the clock, the Raiders scored a touchdown to go up 31-28. The New York Giants beat the Seattle Seahawks in Seattle 17-12. The Los Angeles Rams, they went to the Arizona Cardinals and won 38-28. New England Patriots beat the bag off the Chargers 45-0 in a very surprise game for me. And you, Nate. The Philadelphia Eagles went up to Green Bay and lost 30-16. The Denver Broncos went over to Kansas City, and as we predicted, they lost 22-16. The Washington football team went to Pittsburgh in the surprise upset with a 23-17 win in regulation time. The Buffalo Bills went to San Francisco and won 34-24. And the Dallas Cowboys on Tuesday night went to Baltimore and lost 34-17. The first quarter looked good, but that was the end of the Dallas Cowboys looking good.
I thought that what's his name was still going to be out, Lamar Jackson. I forgot they bumped it to Tuesday. I thought it was. Cause I originally saw it as a Monday game.
Yeah.
And I thought that they're not going to make it.
He's not going to make
Lamar
it.
Lamar Jackson's not back.
I should have trusted in Buffalo,
Dallas
but
has a chance.
I should have trusted in Buffalo, but I didn't. I went with San Fran. I was wrong.
If you watch the first half, San Fran looked like they had a good chance at that. But...
Yeah, they looked good, and then it just went downhill.
So did that bump my horrible week bump me out of first place?
So standings. No, Chris, you're still in first. You have 126 games picked correct for 66%. Next is Jeremy with 121 games picked correct.
How am I still in second?
With you and Mo are at the exact same amount. I think because
you're always like right in the mid range.
I think there's some cahooting going on at that household. Next we have Gail, but she also didn't pick 27 games. She has 102 picked games correct out of the games she picked with a 62% record. Then we have Amanda, who has picked 117 games correct with a 61%. I'm right behind her at 116 games with 60%. Then Nate with 115 for 60%. Remember, there's pointage inside that percentage. In 7th. And Smitty is rounding up the rear with 112 games at 58%. So, all in all, we're not too bad. When it comes down to it, we could be worse.
So, Chris, right now you're projected to win 180.19 to 142.58. Just so you know.
That's what Nate's been like, just death staring on the computer.
Yep.
I was wondering what he was focused on.
Here, I got all the pointages in there. Nate, when I go out, you actually are under a 60% pickage rate. Now I am just over. You're at 59.896%, and I am at 60.417. That one game puts you under 60.
It's bullshit.
Oh, you just gotta be a better. You be a bad. How would you say? Sportscasters don't even get 60% pickage correct.
Yeah, they're usually around 55%.
So you're doing 56. Better. So we're doing better than they are, at least.
Like we are.
For
people who have no knowledge of what we're doing.
All right. We don't do any of the studying. We just believe in a team. So let's pick next week's games. We all, except for Jerry, went with the Rams tonight. Jerry went with the Pats, and it's not working out so hot for him. Right now, the Pats are down 17-3 in the third with 2:39 to go.
Who should I drop?
Don't worry, I can pick him back up.
I got a tight. You can drop your tight end. You can drop a couple of wide receivers. That's all I need.
Yeah, see, Nate just doesn't make this fun.
I like a fair game. That's what I like.
You
fair.
made it so it wasn't fair to begin with.
No. You should, Nate. You should let him drop so that way I can beat Smitty. See, we're trying to help you out here. If he can't win the Sacco, it's not worth it. So he can just drop him and add some crappy players. That way we can keep Chris.
I have no comment because I didn't realize that the last two weren't going to make the playoffs. So
no, we didn't until I told him today. I'm like, we only have an 8-game playoff. He's like 18
Can
playoff.
you change that?
I actually could. I think.
If you do the top, move it so the top six are in the championship bracket.
No, you can't do that. You'd have to pull. You have to go to week 17 at that point in time.
Well, why don't we work on that after, Nate? Because you got the first pick.
Do I?
Yeah, the Tennessee Titans are going to Jacksonville.
Titans
at 1:00.
I feel like that's almost a given.
Yeah, I believe that. Jeremy, you gonna go with Jacksonville?
Titans.
Well, so we said the team with the worst record gets the Sacco, right?
Yes.
Well, no, you said the
because I know I posted the vote.
The group consensus was the loser of the losers bracket.
Yeah.
But I think is that everybody thought the loser bracket would have all
we
of
did.
us in
I
it.
did.
Well,
I definitely did.
That's based on the commissioner not knowing what he's doing.
Because he didn't look, and I looked. Chris, who are you going to go with?
The Titans.
The Titans? Does anybody have Smitty's picks up?
No. That's usually Jeremy.
No, I never do Smitty's picks.
Oh, Chris. Amanda got a beautiful picture of you on the big screen upstairs.
You're just realizing that? That was like over an hour ago.
You're on that camera. I forgot.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, with the big black thing in my mouth?
Yeah. She's got you on the big 100-inch projector. All right, so who's got Smitty's picks? He sent them to us earlier. All right. Nobody's looking?
I'm getting there. I'm seeing.
Did he send it to us last night? There they are. He went with the Titans. I don't have Gail's picks yet, but she's in a board meeting for a thing. So, Jerry, what did Mo go with?
She wants the team that's going to win.
So the Jaguars.
No, I said the team that's going to win, the Titans.
The Titans. Nate, do you have Amanda's picks?
Because I do not. She said Titans on YouTube.
Titans on YouTube. She's making them live. All right, so I got the next pick. The Minnesota Vikings are going down to Tampa. After the bye week, I am going with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Jerry, who are you going with?
I'm going with the Bucs.
The Bucs at home. Chris, who are you going with?
Who was it again? Bucks and who?
The Vikings are going to Bucs at 1:00 before Tom Brady's bedtime.
Bucks.
Who is Smitty going with? Smitty went also with the Bucs. Jerry, who's Mo going with?
The Bucs.
The Bucs. Amanda went with the Bucs. So Nate, you going with the Vikings?
You know what? Yeah. Fuck it. What's the worst that's gonna happen?
You're gonna get under 59%. Jeremy, you have the first pick. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to Miami. It's gonna be nice and warm down there.
I'm gonna take the Chiefs.
Taking the Chiefs. Chris, who are you going with?
Also taking the Chiefs.
Also taking the Chiefs. Let's see. Did Smitty change his mind?
Nope. He picked the Dolphins. I got you.
You got me now? He is going to Dolphins. Who does Mo going with, Jeremy?
The Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Amanda is going with the Chiefs. Nate, are you following your life partner?
I am Dolphins.
I want to pick the Dolphins, but I believe the Chiefs are still going to play most of their players, so I am going to go with the Chiefs.
Well, they only need Pittsburgh to lose a game and they'll get a bye.
Right, well, that's
if they win out.
The Dolphins are playing for a playoff spot.
Right.
Yeah, but the Chiefs are playing for that first round bye.
Yeah, everybody's playing now.
Pittsburgh to stumble.
So right now the Chiefs have to win for that first round bye. So, Chris,
they need to win out and need Pittsburgh to stumble.
The Denver Broncos are going to Carolina. 1:00 game.
I'd say Carolina.
Gonna go Carolina. Who's Smitty going with, Nate?
Panthers.
Panthers. Jerry, who's Mo going with?
What game we on?
Denver.
Broncos,
is going,
Panthers.
Yeah.
Panthers.
Panthers. Who's Amanda going with? She is also going with the Panthers. Nate, who are you going with?
Panthers.
See, this is a hard one for me. I want to go with the Broncos.
How is this a hard one?
The Broncos have started to show up recently, and they are trying to make that last spot.
They didn't show up when they had a wide receiver as a quarterback. Why are they going to start showing up now?
Oh, why would
it? Last week when they had a backup quarterback as a quarterback.
Yeah.
Just pick.
Yeah.
I have two Broncos receivers. It's gonna be Carolina.
Carolina.
Be smart and pick the Panthers.
Jared, who you going with?
Panthers.
So Panthers across the board. Chris, you had the first pick, so Smitty.
No, he already had it. Yeah, Smitty.
Yeah, Smitty has the first pick. The Houston Texans are going to Chicago.
He's picking the Bears.
The Bears.
The Bears.
Who's Mo going with, Jeremy? Texans or Bears? Texans or Bears?
Bears.
The Bears. Amanda is going with the Bears. Nate, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the Texans.
You're going to go with the Texans.
Mm-hmm.
They lost their number one receiver. I am going with the Bears. Jeremy, who you going with?
I'm going with the Texans.
You're going with the Texans.
The Bears are the Bears. Sorry, Chris.
They look like otters.
Are you going with your Bears?
I'm not. I'm going to take the Texans.
You're going to go to the Texans.
So that means the Bears are going to win.
Yeah.
Probably. And part of the reason I'm going with them is because I need Deshaun Watson to fucking just go off.
So you need him to be playing from behind. That's what you really need. So
Chris likes it from behind.
I was going to say Nate likes playing from behind, so, you know.
It's a fair trade.
So next we have the Mo is the first pick. The Arizona Cardinals are going to the New York Giants.
Cardinals.
Amanda went with the Cardinals. Nate, who are you going with?
I'm going to go with the Giants.
Surprisingly
enough.
Giants.
I picked them first.
I already had that pick.
I want to say the Cardinals.
Cardinals should win it, but I think the Giants actually have a chance.
I think the Giants are starting to realize they can actually win these games, so I ain't gonna go with the Giants. Jerry, who are you going with?
I'm gonna have to go with the Cardinals because the Giants have a backup quarterback.
Chris,
you're just not picking them because two other people picked them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're picking the Cardinals out of spite.
I am.
Giants.
I'm just using the fact.
And who is Smitty going with?
Quarterback.
Cardinals.
So next we are at Amanda, and she is between the Dallas Cowboys and the Cincinnati Bengals. She believes them boys, the Cowboys, are gonna win that game. Nate, who do you believe is gonna win the Bengals-Cowboys game?
I mean,
flip a coin.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the fired redhead and go with the Cowboys.
Yeah, go with the Cowboys.
Yeah.
I think whoever doesn't watch that game wins that game.
You know what? Yeah. I need Amari
they
Cooper.
got bumped at a prime time, so it can't be that good of a game.
No, this isn't that week. That's next week.
Oh.
So I need Amari Cooper to go off, so I am gonna go with the Dallas Cowboys. Jeremy, who are you going with?
I'm gonna go with the Cowboys because the The Bengals with the backup are garbage.
Chris, who you going with?
Also going with the Cowboys.
Oh, why am I yawning?
If Burrows was in there, maybe different story. But
Smitty, who is Smitty going with, Nate?
Smitty picked the Bengals.
Smitty went with the Bengals.
He did.
The Bengalers. And who did Mo go with, Jeremy?
The Cowboys.
The Cowboys. Next, we have Nate. The Indianapolis Colts 4:05 game are going to the Raiders. Las Vegas Raiders. Well, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
I'm going to go with Vegas.
I'm going to go with Vegas.
Yeah, this is a close one, but I think the Raiders might take it.
I'm going to go with the Colts. I think their QB is doing a bit better right now. He's gotten hot right now, so.
You never know what Phillip Rivers is going to show up.
Nope.
Either he's going to play lights out or he's going to play like the lights are out.
Jeremy.
Like a dumpster fire?
Jeremy, who you going with?
I'm going with the Raiders.
Going with the Raiders. Chris.
The Raiders!
Shit. We don't have that team.
I'm going to go with the Raiders.
Going with the Raiders. So who'd Smitty go with, Nate?
I was just looking at it too. Who did he pick? Raiders.
Fuck.
Jeremy, who did Mo go with?
The Raiders.
The Raiders.
Okay, we're good.
Amanda's joining me on the Colts train. So next we have the New York Jets are going to Seattle. 4:05. Seattle's lost to home. I wanna because the Jets just can't figure out how to win, but they keep getting these close games. But I'm gonna go with Seattle. The pass defense on the Jets just isn't good enough. Jeremy, who you going with?
Seattle.
Wait. Never mind. Josh Gordon's playing next week, not this week?
Next week.
Oh, I was like, if he's playing this week.
Chris, who you going with?
Sea Chickens.
Sea Chickens. Who does Smitty go with?
Seahawks.
Seahawks. Who did Mo go with, Jeremy?
Seahawks.
The Hawkers. Amanda is also going with the Seahawks. Nate, it's all up to you. Are you going to give the Jets their first win?
Jets, Jets. Let's do this.
You really going to do it? All right.
Yeah, I'm going to pick the
that
Jets.
keeps them under that 60%.
Yeah.
Yeah,
guaranteed.
I'm going crazy this week. Why not?
Jeremy, you have the Green Bay Packers going to the Detroit Lions, playing for their lives.
Who's playing for their lives?
The Lions.
No, they aren't. They fired their coach.
Exactly. That's the reason why they're playing for the...
It says they have a better chance now.
Yeah, so I'm taking the Packers.
I feel like this might be a sweep. I don't know.
Chris, who you going with?
The variable is old Navy boy over there.
Oh, I'm going with the Packers. I don't like them, but I'm not stupid.
Who did Smitty go with, Nate?
Packers.
Then again, I also picked the Bears against the Lions last week, so who knows?
The Packers. Who did Mo go with, Jeremy?
Green Bay.
Green Bay. Amanda went with them Fudge Packers. Nate, are you going with your team?
Of course I am. Though they usually lose to Detroit at the end of the season.
They do. That's why I'm back and forth on this one. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
Just be smart and pick the Packers. I mean, unless you really want to go for an upset.
The Packers should win.
They should.
And it would be an upset.
I just picked the Jets, so...
You picked... that would be the ultimate upset, really.
Yeah.
No, I'm going to go with the Packers.
Hey, Nate, I just read a meme that says if your kid goes to West Point, don't worry, you can always have another kid. And it's a picture of the Navy football player.
Yeah.
So, Jeremy, you have the first pick between... No, you had the first pick last time. It is Chris. The Atlanta Falcons are going to the Los Angeles Chargers wherever they may be playing.
Arizona, I think.
Is that where they decided?
I think everyone from California is playing in Arizona.
Yeah. They got another 2 weeks on their little sports ban.
Yep. So, who you going with, Chris?
I'm gonna take Atlanta.
Remember, I have a 14-hour drive ahead of me tomorrow, so I'd like to go to bed fairly soon.
Who is Smitty going with?
Oh, shit.
Yeah, come on. You have a 14-hour drive ahead of you. You should
Yeah, come on, Nate. Hurry up, Nate.
Chargers?
Really? Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Journey, who's Mo going with?
Falcons.
Amanda, who you going with? Falcons or
Packers.
Chargers?
Chargers.
After they just got themselves bitch slapped last week. Nate, Falcons or Chargers?
Falcons.
I am also going with the Falcons. Journey, who you going with?
Falcons.
Falcons. Next we have Smitty had that pick. So no, Smitty has this pick.
I had that pick.
Washington at San Fran.
Smitty went with the football team.
The football team. Who did Mo go with?
The football team.
The football team. Amanda is going with the Niners at home. Nate, who you going with?
Comeback player of the year. Washington football team.
Washington's playing for their playoff lives right now. So they are playing out of their mind.
Alex Smith is clicking, man.
Yeah, I ain't going with Washington. Jerry, who you
And
going
their
with?
coach is cancer-free, so.
I'm going with the football team.
The football team. Chris, who you going with?
In Alex Smith, we trust.
The Washington football team.
So Amanda's the poor picker of the 49ers that week.
Watch them be the only ones that win. So Mo has the first pick between the New Orleans Saints and the Philadelphia Eagles.
She has the Saints.
She's not flying Eagle Fly?
Nope.
Amanda is also going with the Saints. Nate, who you going with?
The Saints clinched the playoffs.
They did. Are they going to give Philly a win, though?
The Eagles need to win to make it to the to have a chance to take their division to go to the playoffs.
Yeah.
Yet the Saints need to keep winning, otherwise they don't get that.
And they're not starting Wentz. I'm going to go with the Eagles.
You're going to go with the Eagles.
I'm picking a lot of upsets this week. I'm living
You
fast
are.
and loose with my picks.
The Saints need to win this to keep that first round bye possible. So I am going to go with the Saints. Jerry, who you going with?
Saints.
Saints. Chris, who you going with?
Saints.
Saints. Nate, who's Smitty going with?
Saints.
Saints. All right.
I'm going to tell you, either I picked the perfect win this week, or I'm going to lose horribly.
Yeah.
I'm
You and Smitty might be tied to coming in last place. So, Amanda, you have the first pick. The Pittsburgh Steelers are going to Buffalo, and you were picking the Steelers. Nate, who you picking?
I'm picking Buffalo.
You're picking Buffalo.
I think it's going to be a really good game.
I think this is going to be a really good Sunday night game, but I think the Steelers might outthrow the Buffalo Bills defense, so I'm going to go with the Steelers. Jeremy, who you going with?
The Steelers. They got that get right game there.
Yeah, they caught themselves in a playing too soft and loosely. Chris, who you going with?
Steelers.
Who's Smitty going with?
Steelers.
Jeremy, who's Mo going with?
Bills.
The Bills. So you weren't our lone Bills player picker, Nate. And Nate, you have Monday night's game, the Baltimore Ravens between the Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland. Lamar is back. He looked good. He was running tough.
But Cleveland's defense can stop a run. I ain't going to go with the Browns. Jeremy, who are you going to go with?
Browns.
What can Brown do for you? How about you, Chris?
Gonna go with the Browns.
Browns. Who's Smitty going with?
He picked Cleveland.
He picked the Browns. Jeremy, who's Mo going with?
The Browns.
Her other football team. Amanda.
She has the Browns.
She has the Browns.
It's a Brown sweep.
It's a Brown
Did we
sweep.
ever think that would be a thing?
No.
I don't ever think that would happen.
Last year, if you had told me that the Browns were going to be on playoff contention this year, I would have laughed at you.
Hey, I think there are Saturday games this coming week as well.
As of right now, they're not.
No, the
this week?
Yeah, this week I think there are Saturday games.
Week 15?
Yeah.
I don't know. I will be updating this week because I've only been doing like 4 weeks at a time because of all the games being switched, and especially this time of year with flex games. So I will be setting all these games up this week.
Yeah, we have 2 Saturday games: Bills, Broncos, and Panthers, Packers.
Ooh, I like that. Nate picked first, so I have the first pick here. Los Angeles Chargers are going to the Raiders. I ain't going with the Raiders. Jerry, who you going with?
Chargers.
Chargers. Chris, who you going with?
Chargers.
Really? Smitty, who's Smitty going with?
Raiders.
Raiders. Jerry, who's Mo going with?
Raiders.
Amanda is also going with the Raiders. Nate, who you going with? We got Chargers and Raiders all over the field.
I am going with the Las Vegas Raiders.
And that concludes our picks of the week.
Hooray!
All right, guys. It's been fun. We'll do it again next week. Chris?
Yes.
Good luck. Have fun.
May you taste all the spicy foods.
Yeah, as of right
And
now,
not
I'm good.
in your mouth and not in your butt.
I don't taste with my butt, but okay.
No, but you feel spicy food when you do.
Yeah.
Nate, I'll talk to you tomorrow, but you have a safe drive.
Thank you.
Hey, Nate, I'm home all day, so if you get bored.
You're homo all day? All right.
He's a homo all day, so.
Yeah, there you
Actually, I do have to really thank Jeremy for hooking up for some radio time. It's been great.
Jeremy,
I'm gonna have to change that password.
No, please don't.
Please don't.
Just like someone keeps changing my roster, I'm gonna have to change some passwords.
I'm here to help you.
Jeremy, if you get bored, I'm ripping up flooring in the attic because things went wrong. So.
And then it's coming to my house.
Yeah, it's gonna go to your house.
Don't tell Amanda.
I got the kids all day.
Oh, I said if you got bored, so.
But I'm still waiting on my test results anyways, guys, in Florida.
Ah.
That
All
freaking
right.
swab sucked.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Night, everybody.
That's all, folks.
Bye, everybody.